All right, here's a question for you. Okay, and put your comments and thoughts down below. Which is the best time to actually do work? Is it in the morning? Is it in the afternoon? Is it in the evening? Or is it in the night? Okay, put your comments down below, and so that you're not affected by my opinion. I would like to know yours. Okay, and I will share with you my experience because I have experimented with all these schedules, and the reason for that is because I wanted to know what time of the day I would be most productive. Okay, so let's start. Uh, which is best, morning, afternoon, evening, or night? Now, I'll tell you, during my younger days, my father, my stepfather, used to force me to get up in the morning and study. Like he would just wake me up. He used to go to work at 6 o'clock. Sorry, he used to go to work at 7:30. So he would wake me up at around 5:45 or 6, and he would just make me sit in the hall room with those boring books. So I dreaded and I hated waking up in the morning, and I would just like sit like this, and then he would come and whack me at the head with the knuckle or just pull my ear, the typical animalistic disciplinary methods that my animal not animal this evil stepfather had. Animal is a compliment. He doesn't deserve to be called an animal. So anyway, being a youngster, I dreaded getting up in the morning. I didn't have any positive memories of getting up in the morning. In fact, I would love to snuggle in my warm blankets and my pillow. Why? Because I found studies boring. But here's the funny thing. When if I've seen my previous videos during my 10th, 11th, and 12th, that is high school, the final years, I started training for track and field events. And there were, girls who used to come there. And my PT sir, he was like a coach for all these girls. And also, I think I was the only boy. I accidentally bumped into him one day when just waking up in the morning with my mother and just going for a walk in the garden. And I saw him. I saw these girls. I was like, "Yeah, girls, yeah." And then it turned out to be girls from my school, and I was even more happy. But once I went, to the center, it is like slightly inclined. For those of you who do not know, it is Al Ittihad Garden in Sharjah. So the center is slightly raised, and you cannot see who is there because it has a wall and seating kind of arrangements. You can Google search this. Maybe I'll put a link below. So once he saw me, I was about to run away. He called me and started to train me with these girls, and obviously they gave me a sound thrashing because they could do exercise for half an hour, different exercise, stretching and all that. I couldn't even do few reps. And then he made me run with them. And one was the super seniors champion, one was the intermediate champion. That means, there are different age gaps. So both of them ran faster than me. I was very embarrassed. And then he said, "You come, if you're dedicated, I'll make you a good runner. I'll make you a good athlete." Because until then, I never had any training. And lo and behold, without an alarm clock, I started to get up at around automatically 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. I would drink lots of water. Here's the technique I'd follow. I would drink lots of water, so I was forced to get up in the morning. And my stepfather, the bastard that he is, he would take away my alarm clock because he didn't want me to go for my running. He only wanted me to study, which anyway I was not interested. So I would drink lots of water, and I was forced to get up at around 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and I would every day for the next 1, 2, 3 years. I got up in the morning, and what I noticed is when I got up in the morning, you feel fresh, you feel alert, you feel active, and the day feels longer. But obviously, after I trained all that, I would be sleeping in the class, which is another story for itself. But the point which I'm trying to make here is when you are interested in doing something, when you really have a lot of interest, you will get up automatically in the morning. Okay, when you're really interested in a subject, because in the morning your mind is fresh. Right. Then obviously after the running, the days got over, and I started to go for the normal searching for a job and all that. Once again, it was difficult for me to get up in the morning because I was bored. And then once I joined the work environment, it was not a proper corporate world. I joined as a shopkeeper, my first job, small jobs, small salaries. I obviously, like every other normal person, I would love to snuggle in my blanket and hug my pillow and sleep. And, then I started to have girlfriends and all that. I would sleep late in the night. I loved the evening time. Morning was meant to sleep. And I was almost always late for work. Like I would get up just few minutes before the office would wake up. You have to sign in, no? You have to put your punch card or you scan your finger. So I was always late, and by a few minutes they give you a concession. So once again, because I found it boring, I found it hard to get up in the morning. But if there was something exciting like meeting a girl or doing an event, I would get up automatically. Then I moved into my 30s. In the 30s, obviously, senior position, and there I had a senior role with my mentor, who was the CEO of the company. Because he used to get up, he used to make sure I would also wake up 5 in the morning. That is to go to church, because he was a church going guy. And those days I was a religious guy, so to speak. I wanted to impress my boss and be dedicated. So there, once again, I would get up in the morning, which was because I was the boss, and he was the boss, and I was his right hand. But once after that phase got over, and I started to go on with my life, which was stressful. Um, it was difficult for me to sleep very long, especially when you have stress. When you have stress and pressure, when you're worried about life, when you're worried about a job, when you're worried about you're not sure of where life is going to take you tomorrow. So, if there was an important appointment, I would get up. Otherwise, I would just lie down and not get sleep that easy, because you're always thinking. But I would just not feel like getting out of bed. Okay. So that was the next phase of my life. Then finally, obviously, after I bounced back from my near death experience, which you can search if you're new, you don't know that I tried to commit suicide because I lost everything. And then when I bounced back, once again, I followed a protocol of getting up late, because I didn't have any reason to get up in the morning. There were no clients or anything. So I would sit late in the night, always late in the night. And also those days I was also a playboy. So chatting with the girls in the night and doing the work in the night. And I would sleep during the daytime, and nighttime I would be a night owl, creative. And if anyone asked me during those days, I would say nighttime is the best time. Okay, nighttime is where you are creative. However, now that I'm in my 40s, going to move into my 50s, this is what I've noticed. Uh, when there are clients, obviously, I have clients who are based in different time zones. So when they want to speak to me, and if they are, wanting to chat with me at 11 in the night, Thailand time, or 1 in the night, um, I have to adjust. I have to adjust. Most of the time, it is not very difficult, because naturally and normally I sleep late. I like to sleep late. I don't like to have a fixed time. And because I drink a lot of caffeine, a lot of tea, a lot of coffee, um, my mind is, if you don't have coffee and tea, you'll sleep on time. If there was no light and you follow natural light, you'll sleep on time. That is a factor. If you live without electricity, means has light, and you just live in nature with the natural sunlight, automatically you will fall asleep. And if you especially don't have caffeine, okay. So I noticed that when I didn't have caffeine, or when there was no light as such, I would naturally feel sleepy by 7 or 8 in the night. And my baby, who gets up at 5, who has to go to school by 7, My wife and baby both get up at 5, so they feel sleepy by 8 o'clock. They are, going to sleep. And oh, I forgot one very important thing. During my 30s, that is after I bounced back from my suicide, this thing, I took professional training under a Olympic coach for triathlon and half marathon. Triathlon involves cycling, swimming, and running. And obviously, if I had to be trained under him, I had to follow his schedule. And the training venue was almost like 100 kilometers away. I had to drive every day 100 kilometers and come back. So if I would wait, I'd be stuck in the traffic jam for 2, 3 hours. So I would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and by 5 in the morning, I would drive down there, park my car in half an hour because there was no traffic, empty road, and then sleep in my car for 1 hour. I actually did this for almost a year. I would reach there by say 5:30, sleep until 6:30 or 7, then get up at 7, have my black espresso, which was already purchased on the way, and then get ready by say 7:30. By 8 o'clock, I was walking towards the venue. That is the beach, Jumeirah Beach, and by training would start by 9 to 12. Okay, I followed that protocol, and then obviously 12 o'clock come back home, which was another 100 kilometers, then sleep until 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, evening, and then once again drive down maybe 70, 80 kilometers to train in the night, and then come back and reach by 10. This I would do 3 times a week. I know, crazy schedule. But the point I'm trying to say here is, when I was training under an Olympic coach, once again, the schedule was morning. So now coming back to where I'm today, here's what I've discovered after all the ups and downs, trying morning, afternoon, evening, all different schedules of getting up. What I've realized is, when I sleep late, okay, when I sleep late and I get up, whenever my body wakes me up, I have a headache. I feel the head is heavy. I feel drowsy. I feel lethargic. Getting up late, especially if I get up in the afternoon, I really feel heavy. And somehow the day passes by very fast, and before I know it, the day is over. And I can't believe how fast a day goes. But then, like today, I accidentally woke up at 6 o'clock morning. I woke up at 6, and I'll tell you, I have been able to accomplish far more in these in the morning, since morning, than I would have if I got up in the night. And I'll tell you, I got up in the morning. I went. I completed my work of emails and clients. Then I went and purchased from the fruit and vegetable market my quota of oranges that I have, which it takes a distance. I go by wholesale. And then I went and, on the way, ate a McDonald's, that breakfast burger with muffin or whatever. Uh, it's a temptation. Once in 1 or 2, 3 months, I have that. So I was like, okay, now I can go and get it. Then I also went shopping, and then when I came back, to my shock and surprise, I was able to make a complete 1 hour video, which I spoke about one girl dancing in India. The title of that thumbnail is "Shame on India." You can see 1 hour. I don't know how I was able to do that, because speaking for 1 hour non-stop is not easy. And then after that, I once again went and, I felt like having a donut. So I went and had a donut. I drove for 45 minutes because, I wanted to take a break. I came back. I went to the restaurant, got food, bought it here. And now I felt like making this video, and I'm making another video. And the time is 3:26 in the evening. And I'm very surprised that I'm able to do all this and have a high energy. And after this, I've told my daughter that we'll be playing a video game. She likes to join me when I play my video game. So, what I've discovered is, if I sleep properly in the morning, Okay, I've written down my notes, so I'll just refer that. So if I get my proper 6 to 8 hours sleep, and I know very clearly what I'm supposed to do the following day, I have a very clear agenda, very clear program. Um, and if I get up in the morning and have a black coffee, no sugar, which is here, I had finished half of it. And then if everything is in place, there's no disturbance, electricity, everything is there, internet is there, and I focus on the task for the next 3 hours, I'm telling you, I'm able to accomplish so much. There is silence, there are no distractions, there's just total focus in my work. So for me, after all these years of experimenting, whether nighttime is better, evening is better, afternoon, I would say if you really love what you do, you will get up early in the morning. And early in the morning, the first thing you must do after you have your coffee is not talk to anyone, not see anyone, just focus on doing your work for the next 2, 3 hours, whether it's studying, whether it's creativity, whether it's being productive, whatever. And like I told you, make sure it's silence. Make sure you do only one thing. Don't do multitasking. Make sure there's no other distraction, no phone, no WhatsApp, no nothing. Keep everything ready just near you so you don't have to get up. And don't spike up your sugar with any sugary stuff. Have black coffee. And if you really focus and if you've given your mind and heart the task before you go to bed, I'm telling you, you will realize that morning is the best time. Okay, but having said that, if you're not a morning person and you don't feel like you can get up in the morning, don't force it. Okay, don't force it, because remember, there are days for me where I feel more creative in the evening, or sometimes I just feel not in a frame of mind. So you need to know your body, you need to know how your mind works, so see what works best for you. But since people like to know what is best for me, I've told you this. If I get my 6 to 8 hours sleep, and if I'm able to get up in the morning, bang, nothing can stop me. I'm unstoppable. And I seem to achieve a lot more if I start early in the morning. But having said that, if in case I don't get up in the morning, then obviously it goes on to the evening or night time. Afternoon, I'm not an afternoon person. And but if I do something in the night time, it takes me time to settle down, recharge, because the heavy head, you feel drowsy. So I have to take the coffee, I have to sit down. I even have to just browse through the internet and like a zombie, just wait until things get settled down. And after 1 to 2 hours, then I switch on. And after the caffeine kicks in, then I'm alert and awake. So yeah, my first preference, morning, nothing like it. Second preference, late night. And last preference, well, get up and any time of the day. But remember, if I get up in the morning, I am ready. I don't need to get switched on. It happens just click of a finger. If I sleep throughout the day and get up in the afternoon, then it takes me 1 to 2 hours to switch on. And if I do something, let's say after taking a nap and I start working in the night, it should be like late night, after 8 or whatever. And everyone should be asleep. And yes, coffee once again. And then I can work up to 2 or 3. That's it. So anyway, I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions, let me know. And feel free to share your thoughts and comments down below. Having said that, you guys take care. This is me signing off. Ciao.